Is it possible to start an acting career at age 50? Yes, it is. And I am living proof of that. So sit back, grab a cocktail, a snack, and I'm going to tell you the story of how I became an actor at the age of 50 and where I am now almost 4 years later. Now, before I get into how it all happened, you should know I was never supposed to be an actor. I am an introvert, always have been. I am not the life of the party. I'm the guy that comes in and walks to the edge of the room, finds a spot, and observes everybody. I don't really initiate conversations. I don't like to be in front of people. I don't like giving speeches. I don't like people looking at me. Definitely a shy guy until I get to know you. My whole career was behind a computer. I'm a mechanical designer by trade. I worked on CAD drawings for manufacturing. Only interactions I really had with people were over the phone and email. Not a lot of face-to-face time with people. Acting was not on my radar at all, not even close. And that's why this is so surreal, because none of it was planned. It just kind of happened. So at the end of 2021, COVID was just kind of on the downswing. People were back to work, not in the offices, but things were ramping back up. I wasn't working. I had lost my job. I'd recently relocated to Newport Beach in Southern California and trying to figure out what to do. So I thought, you know what, let me try something different. I was kind of dabbling on the internet, looking around, and I decided, why don't I go up to Central Casting, sign up, and do background work. I can make a little bit of money and I can see how Hollywood works. I'd always been kind of curious about movies. Never thought I'd be in front of the camera or even behind it, but I thought this would be kind of a fun way to get in and see how movies are made and kind of just get into the mix of Hollywood, right? So I did, went down there, signed up. About the end of January, I got a notice that I was booked for Flight Attendant on HBO with Kaley Cuoco. So great, this will be fun. So I went to the set, checked in. They dressed me up in scrubs. It was a hospital scene. I was positioned in one end of a hallway, and when they said action, they were doing the scene. They cued me, and I just walked down this hallway. Did that several times while they shot from this end and this end and this end, and then another scene where I walked kind of through a little bit. That was it, a full day of me just walking down a hallway. But I was in front of cameras. Kaley Cuoco's right there. Cheryl Hines is right there. It's HBO. There is cameras everywhere. There are people everywhere. It's a big production. If you've ever done background, you know HBO, Netflix, primetime television, big productions. There's a crafty booth. There's a holding area. There's just all stuff going on. A catering tent. So big production. So I was kind of in awe. You know, like, this is Hollywood. I'm in it doing the thing. Kind of fun. I said I could do this every once in a while. Why not? In addition to Central Casting, I created a profile on Backstage and Casting Networks to apply for whatever random shows were out there, small indie films, commercials, whatever. I was kind of just exploring. And I came upon a background role for a biker in a bar. Perfect for me. I rode with a motorcycle club for a long time. I can be a biker in a bar. So I submitted for that. I was booked on it, and I went out to it. Thought this is going to be fun. So I went to LA, small building in the Arts District, and I walked in, and it was completely different than Flight Attendant. Small room, makeup, wardrobe was right there in the same room. Crafty was a table in the corner with some snacks, and everybody's kind of hanging out, getting ready to do their thing. I checked in, got my wardrobe approved, was told, just sit, we'll let you know when it's time to go to set. So I sit on this couch, looking at all the people in the room, and I look at the guy next to me, and I do a double take, and it's Tom Sizemore from Heat, Black Hawk Down. Great actor. Kind of took some time off for personal reasons, and then is making his comeback on this small indie film and other ones that he's doing. And I'm just like, what the heck? Very surreal. I'm sitting in Hollywood next to one of the biggest movie stars that I've known growing up in the 80s, 90s, and just in awe. We get called to set, and I walk in, and I'm standing at this bar and pretending to be a biker at a bar. They shoot the scenes. There's several of them in this bar, and I just pretend I'm drinking a beer, listening to music, talking to people, having a good time. Super fun. Learned a lot. Picked up on a lot of the terminology, how things were done. Just learned a lot, you know. And because it was such a small, intimate atmosphere, I was able to kind of just hang out and observe a little bit, even after my scene was done, which was a lot of fun. Talked to the director a little bit, a guy named Bruce Bellacci. He's a great guy. He makes great movies, and he's a great writer, and he used to be a boxer as well. Got to know him a little bit. When the day was done, I left. I sent Bruce a message thanking him for the day. I learned a lot. It was very exciting for me because it was only my second thing I'd ever done on a film set. Then I did a couple more things. Within the next few days, I did a still photo thing for Black Angus. I did Mayans MC. That was super fun. And then I get a call back from Bruce again. He said, "Hey, I'm still shooting this movie. I would love for you to come back for 3 days and be the bodyguard for our cartel leader, our drug dealer." I thought, great. I'm back on this set 3 days, make a little money, and get to be in the mix again. That's kind of fun. So all I had to do was stand there in a suit for while they shot all these scenes. Super fun. So I went back talking to Tom Sizemore, Robert Lasardo, Carlo Mendez, again, the director Bruce Bellacci, met all these other people that were doing background and smaller roles in the film. And again, learned so much wardrobe and props and setting up and sound and cinematography, just all kinds of information getting into my head. And it was pretty fun. Again, had a great time. Thanked him for it, went on my way. So this was in February of 22 was when all this was happening. And so I went on and did more stuff. I did 911. I did Mysterious Benedict Society on Disney, all these little background roles, and super fun. And then get a call again from Bruce Bellacci, the director of this movie, said, "Hey, I'm having a fight night at my house in LA, MMA fight. You have some people over, people from the movie, and we're just going to hang out and watch the fights." And I thought, I don't want to go because I don't know anybody, right? I know nobody in that thing. I don't socialize, and it's raining, and it's like at 7:00 in LA, and it's like an hour drive from me. But ultimately, I decided to go because it's something new. I'm going to a director's place to watch a film with people in the movie business, so it could be fun. So I go, and it's fun. We get there, small little apartment, gigantic movie screen. We're watching the MMA fight. And people are coming and going, people I recognize from the set. So I kind of talk to them and say, hey. And then in walks this guy with this big smile. And so immediately Bruce jumps up, grabs this guy. "This is my favorite actor ever. I want you guys to meet him if you haven't met him. This is the guy from the greatest movie known, Point Break. This is Bo Jesse Christopher. He played Gromit on Point Break." And I'm just thinking, what the heck is going on here? Because I watched Point Break I don't know how many times. And I know who Gromit is. Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves. Bo Jesse Christopher was the youngest of the presidents in that film. And that was, at the time, 25 years ago. So it was an iconic movie for me. And I'm just meeting the guy who played Gromit, which was kind of fun. Very cool dude. We chatted a bit, and the party went on. We talked to other people and moved around. Then back to Bo Jesse again. And he talked about what he was up to these days. He'd been in True Detective, and he'd done this and done that. And right now his main focus is he's an acting coach. He teaches acting, and he does private coaching and this and that. And he said, if you want to learn more about acting, I teach a class. Come check it out. You can learn. It's still COVID, so right now we do it on Zoom, very casual. And I kind of said, I'll think about it, whatever. But in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm not an actor. I'm not getting in front of people. No, I can't do that. There's absolutely no way. So things went on. I did more background here and there, indie films, short films, and I was having a good time. And Bo Jesse texted me again because he had my info, said, "Hey, just following through. Got this class starting up if you want to do it." And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I'm already doing the background. Why not check out what acting is? See if that's something you can do. Because all my life, I doubted everything. There was no way I can do this. No way I could do that. That's impossible. That's impossible. And I thought, you know what? Check it out. If you can't do it, you can't do it. So I did the class. It was a Zoom class. It was Bo Jesse, myself, I think 2 other people. And we just had some scripts, and we kind of went through the roles and back and forth. And I sucked. I was reading from the paper, reading the script. I really had no concept of bringing the emotions into the scene and being present in the scene. And I was just reading the lines. And you got to start somewhere, right? So that's where I started. It was okay because I was in the comfort of my own home. I had my computer, and there was nobody really there. I was just on screen. So then I got to know him a little more than other people in the Zoom class, and was kind of enjoying myself because now I know these people. And then he just says, well, COVID's kind of getting better, so I'm going to go back to in-person classes. And I thought, well, I'm in it. Let me go check out the in-person classes. So I drive all the way up to North Hollywood. For me, it was probably an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes at that time of the evening on a Monday. And I go in and it's 10 people, 12 people, and I know nobody except Bo Jesse, who I still barely know because I just talked to him on Zoom. I have to get up in front of these people and do these Meisner exercises, repetition, and these exercises of acting, and I'm like, what the heck? People are looking at me. I'm stuttering. My voice is shaking. I'm terrified. People are judging me. I'm no good at this, and there's nothing more I wanted to do than get out of there. So I did, and then went back the next week, because the next week he had sent out scripts and said, hey, we're going to go through these scenes in the class. And I said, okay, it's not the repetition exercises. It's not people staring at me. We're going to do these scenes. I did them on Zoom a little bit so we can do them here. And so I did. And again, horrible, no good, was not figuring it out. I kept going for 2 months, probably actually through the end of May. And then I decided that wasn't for me. I was not having a fun time. It was an hour and 45-minute drive there, hour coming home late. It was costing me money. It was costing me time. It's just a waste. I'm not an actor. I can't do it. So just did background, told him, hey, thanks for the class. Got a good time. It's just not for me. Did background, and I had some fun doing it. And finally, I was able to get a job in my mechanical design area of work and back at work. And Bo Jesse kept messaging me. He said, hey, starting up again in September. Love to have you back, man. You got potential. You got to start from the bottom. We can work and build you to your true potential. And that kind of got me, coach me to my true potential, the best I can be. And I thought, okay, if he can do that, then we'll see how far I can get. So I went back. It was in a different area at this time, a little closer to me, still an hour away, but a different classroom. So kind of a different vibe, which felt better just because it was a different than where I was before. I decided to just kind of let myself get into it, listen to exactly what he was saying, and let the emotions come, and try to do the best I can at this. Sometime in September, there was a scene I did where it clicked. So there was a saying, and I can't remember who'd said it, but that he always talked about when we did the repetition exercises and the philosophy of acting. And it was that the actor should not imitate or impersonate, but you should become the part by working on the link between the role and the reality of your own life and emotions. And that kind of really clicked with me at that night. So I brought a situation in my own life that I had years ago, just how I felt in that moment, and brought it to the scene. Said the words that were in the scene, using the emotions and feelings I had from that moment in my own life. And it clicked. It worked. By no means was it a star performance, but it was far better than I had done before. And I felt it. I felt that I had done good. And that was the pivotal moment for me when I said, okay, I can do this. So I kept coming, learning and growing and just putting myself out there, allowing myself to be emotional in front of people, happy, sad, terrified, angry, and letting them in the class see me. And it's difficult for me, but it was also cathartic and freeing. So now we're getting into 2023. I am trying to get better at this now. So now I'm seeing what's the next level? What's my next step? And I am introduced to a agent. I meet with the agent, and all of a sudden they sign me. Now I have a commercial agent submitting me for commercials. I get an NFL commercial. I get an Ally Bank commercial. And these are decent paydays. And they're very minimal acting, but it's what I can do with my talent level at the time, and I enjoyed it. And so I came to realize at that point, I am an actor. I am acting in commercials. I am an actor. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a star. I'm not making a living acting, but now I am an actor. And that was really, once I figured that out in my mind, it was like, okay, let's take this to the next level. Let's see how far we can go. And the momentum was starting to build. I was doing background roles and recreation in documentaries, and then leveling up. And then the writers went on strike. And then SAG went on strike, and the industry shut down. And my momentum died. And I was just pissed. Because here was something that I felt that I was starting to get good at, that I never thought I could do. And it just got pulled from under me. And I'm 52 at the time, 51, and I'm thinking, what the heck? I don't have time to wait around for strikes and people. So I continued to go to class weekly, every Monday night class with Bo, Jesse, Christopher, and all these other great actors. Some super good, some just beginning, and it's just a mix of people learning from each other and being a community. And it was a great time for me because I grew. And honestly, it probably was one of the best things that happened because maybe I wasn't ready to jump to that next level. So this gave me months to just continue growing and learning without the pressure of trying to get more agents and booking roles and trying to find auditions and things I probably wasn't ready for. So blessing in disguise, still sucked, but that's the way things went. So that was from about May through October, November, when everything got resolved finally at the end of 23. It was wintertime, nothing was really going on. People are trying to gear back up. They're doing shows from the year before, so there's no new pilots. And so nothing's new for people. It's stuff they were already going to film that are happening. I switched agencies. I had met a new agent and booked with them. Now I was being represented commercially and theatrically. And again, this was a small agency, very boutique. Took a chance on me, which I appreciate. Beginning of 2024, not much going on in the acting world for me. I am still doing classes. I am now thinking, what else can I do in this? I was trying to see what I can do to improve myself. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to look into screenplays, writing a screenplay, what that entails, how they are structured, what it takes to write one. Can I even write one? I read books all the time. Can I write a story? So I jumped into that. And I wrote a great screenplay. It is currently complete. It is in development. We are making this into a movie. And that is going to be in a whole nother video that I will tell you how I wrote that and where it's at now. So look for that. It's a great story in itself. Again, something I thought I would never be able to do or hadn't even thought of doing, but I just did it. Then I booked a small role in a student film. It was a 15-minute short film. It was myself and one other guy talking. And for me, it was one of the best things that I had done because it was really me being able to bring the entire emotions of things that happened in my life and use them, probably 5 different situations, to bring them into one conversation. And this movie turned out great. It was nominated for an award at the Inland Film Festival this past year. Worked with some great directors from the Inland Empire. It was a very fun time for me because now I have a film, I have footage, I have a reel. People can see what I can do. So that happened, and I moved on. I kept doing other things. Still frustrating because I was not getting auditions. I was not getting work. I was getting some commercial auditions, nothing happening. It wasn't how it was when I first started, and I don't know when it was going to get any better. So along the way of this whole time, I'm still in contact with Bruce Spilacci, the director from the very first movie I did background in. And he has a movie he's shooting in February of 25 in Florida, and he wants me to be in it. So he has a small role for me in it, a few lines. And February, I fly out to Florida and I shoot this movie. And Bo, Jesse, Christopher is one of the main characters in this movie. So I get to shoot a scene with him, which when I thought about it was bizarre because 30 years ago, I'm sitting in a movie theater watching Point Break and watching these great actors, Patrick Swayze, Keanu, Bo, Jesse, do this great heist surfer movie. And here I am 30 years later acting in a scene with the guy who played Gromit in that movie. And it was very surreal. I mean, still is. And this was 3 years after I started in this whole industry. And so I'm just still astounded that I was doing that. Even this guy is now one of my best friends and a mentor and a great business person to work with. So we shoot that whole thing. It's great. Super fun time. And so this was at the beginning of 2025. And so in the middle of 2025, I booked a small role in a movie. Again, it was featured background. Got the part, and they sent me the thing, and they said, well, this is the featured background, but now there's some lines in it. So here's the SAG deal and all the info on the deal. And I thought, SAG? I'm not SAG. And I looked at it, and it's a SAG role. So now I'm Taft-Hartley. I am eligible to join the Screen Actors Guild. And this was the next logical step for me. What a lot of actors work towards, to be eligible to join the union. It was just out of the blue. And it's because I was prepared for that role. preparation meets opportunity, you're going to win. I was prepared. The little role popped up. I grabbed it. Now I'm SAG eligible. So I joined the union. I am now a member of SAG. I am putting myself out there to do union roles and to move up. So now here I am, almost 4 years after I first started, almost 54 years old. And I've gone from, maybe I'll just go check out background and see what that's all about, to now I am a SAG union actor. I have acted in numerous commercials, short films. I have met several movie stars and actors that are phenomenal to work with and to talk to. I have written a screenplay, which is in development, which is going to be made in a movie, which I will be playing the lead in, that I wrote for myself, which will hopefully launch me to another level as a known actor. And I have another screenplay I'm writing. I have other things in the works in the realm of the film and television industry that I will expand on later because they are still happening. And it has just been a bizarre, surreal experience that just proves to me that it's never too late to start anything over. If you find something or you decide to explore something and it turns into your passion, it grabs you, and you want to pursue it, then just pursue it. Just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, because if you don't quit, you're going to succeed. But if you quit, you're not going to succeed, and you will never know if you could have succeeded. If I had not gone to that party at Bruce Balachi's place because I didn't want to go to a party because I don't know anybody, I don't think I'd be sitting here, because I would not have met Bo Jesse. I would not have been more friends with Bruce, who brought me into his movie later on. I would not have met a lot of the people that I know now. And I don't think I would have explored any of that and got to where I am now. When those opportunities come up, they're going to come up. Grab them. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let doubt stop you. The only way you're going to know is if you try. And if you try and you fail, you do it again and again and again and again. And that's really a lot of what this business is. You're going to audition for roles. You're not going to get them. And on and on and on. And all of a sudden, you're going to be ready, and a role is going to come that's right for you, and it's going to be yours. And you're going to jump onto the screen, and you're going to be seen and known, and you're going to be on this wild ride making films and making television. In these 4 years, I feel like I have built the launch pad. I feel like I have gone from zero to where I am now, and this is now the base. I have built all this foundation, and now I'm on the launching pad, and I'm ready to take off. Success is not overnight. For some people it is. It happens. You're grabbed off the street, you're asked to read for a role, and because you have a look or whatever, and boom, you're off, you're a celebrity, and you're doing all the things. It happens. But for most people, it doesn't. It takes hard work. Overnight success takes 4 to 10 years, sometimes longer. But the success will come if you stay prepared and you grab the opportunities as they come along. So all these things that I've talked about, I'm going to expand on in other videos. My movie that I wrote, One More Sunset, I'm going to talk to you about how and why I wrote that whole process and where that came from. I'm going to dive into more of the psychology of acting and how I changed through this whole process, and diving deeper into bringing my feelings and things into my acting, and how it's a very cathartic and almost therapeutic thing for me to do. So we'll get into that. And we'll get into what I'm doing now. I'm going to take you along on this ride, and we're going to explore where I'm going and what I'm doing. So subscribe to this channel, like this video, drop a comment. Let me know if you have questions about what I've talked about, if you want me to expand on anything, if I can help you with anything in your journey as an actor, or anything you're doing, any passion you're pursuing, especially later on in life. If you're exploring new things, I will totally help you and give you my insight onto my whole process and my thoughts as I've gone through this whole thing. And stay tuned for my other videos that I've mentioned, and let's build some dreams together. Thanks so much, and I will see you on the next one.